Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing this wonderful morning? I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're feeling well. It's a wonderful day to be alive. It's a wonderful day. I know you're getting out of your house, you're taking your kids where they need to go, you're getting yourself ready, but I'm hoping that you all are doing well and feeling well. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Family Morning Transformation, or yours truly, DMP. Introduce myself if you don't know, and this is your first time, and welcome. My name is David M. Pinkston, but I go by the name of DMP Speaks. I am a empowerment speaker. I'm a board certified Christian counselor, but I'm also a family restoration specialist, which means I come to grow and rebuild your family dynamic. I come as that middleman. I come as that bridge, the communication or the lack of, or whatever situation that you might be going through. Maybe it's not as bad as other families, but you need some tools, you need some tips, you need some help on how to communicate with your child, and your child needs to know how to talk to you and how to communicate with you. It's very important. I'm that bridge, that person. I'm the patient one, because I want to see your family grow, and I believe that it can happen. So with that, once again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't want to belabor the time. I want to talk about this really quick. We talked about communication with parents the other day, but I want to talk about this again, this communication with parents. But when both parents don't agree, when one of the parents or both of the parents don't agree on certain things when it comes to the children. And that in itself can bring a lot of problems, a lot of issues when the parents don't agree, when the parents are not getting along, right? They don't see eye to eye when it comes to how to discipline the child, or something that's going on in the home and they're not agreeing. It can bring a lot of problems. It can bring a lot of arguments. It can bring a lot of things that come out of, I say, as my father used to say, the woodwork, right? It just comes out because things have not been talked about. Things have not been understood. So when you have parents, or you have one of the parents that just don't agree and they're not trying to have or be in agreement, it can bring these problems, and it can bring some problems toward the child too, because a lot of times it has to do with the child or the children's, either their behavior. It could have something that happened in the home, and you're just not agreeing. You're not agreeing together. One of the things that I want to talk about is how to agree together. And I had to take my own advice when both parties, both parents, quote unquote, don't agree, right? It might not be a one day that you find yourself not being on one accord, but you got to find that. You got to be able to find that one accord for the sake of the family, even if you still don't agree with that other parent. And I'm not even going to go into this so much. Well, I am going to go there. Even if the parent doesn't live in the home, and you might not agree with their parenting style, you might not agree with what they do with your child, with them, but you got to find some agreement, right? The child is already dealing with the father not being in the house or the mother not being in the house. And if you guys are not seeing eye to eye, how are you expecting, this is going to be real, how are you expecting that child to turn out so great if you guys are not getting along? If you're not even trying to get along? Now, I'm not saying things are going to happen in a day or a week. And things are going to be peachy keen, but you got to be able to find a common ground, a commonality. Because when you don't find that common ground and you continue to argue, when you continue to disagree, and you don't even try to find a common place, right? When it comes to the child, maybe mom does things that dad doesn't agree to. You understand what I'm saying? Or mom or dad does certain things that mom don't agree with. That's fine, because that's what, I mean, let's just be honest. That's what marriage comes. You have some disagreements, you have some arguments, right? You have some debates, or however you want to put it. But you got to find some common ground. You got to find what's going to work for the family at this particular time, right? Maybe, and I'll use myself as an example, maybe my tactics don't work. Maybe the way I think doesn't work. And I have to learn how to trust my wife. I'm just giving you an example. I had to learn in certain cases, you might not have known it all, right? You got to learn how to trust your spouse in these situations when it comes to your child, or when it comes to really anything. But I'm just talking about the child. If the parents are not communicating correctly, if the parents are not communicating in a healthy way, the family can't be healthy. The family can't be healthy. I'll say it again, the family can't be healthy. You have to be able to communicate well. And I'm not saying you're not going to have any arguments. I'm not going to say that it's going to be fixed in a few days or week, like I just stated. You got to find some common ground, because if you don't, not only will your family suffer, but your relationship or your marriage will suffer, because it's constantly, you're not finding that common ground. You're not even seeking to find that common ground, because it's all about what you want to think about. And that's not healthy, because you want your child to have healthy debates. So, because it's not with just you. There's times me and Mark have gotten in arguments, right? And I've done it in front of my child. And then I had to go back and apologize, not just to my wife, of course, but I had to go and apologize to my son, because I want him to know you can still have your opinion about something, right? But if your child is there, you try to do your best to apologize. You do your best to try to make amends for the betterment of the family, because at the end of the day, this is your family. At the end of the day, this is honestly all you have. I have wonderful friends. I have musical associates. A lot of you know I'm a musician. But at the end of the day, it's my wife and my son. It's my wife and my son. So you got to find great communication. And one of the ways that you find great communication, sometimes you might have to turn the TV off. Sometimes you might have to turn the phone off and turn everybody else off, and really see and really talk and say, where can we go from here? I don't care. I don't care if you have the most amazing career. It doesn't matter about your job. It doesn't matter about your money. It's about communication. And a lot of families and a lot of parents, they lack that communication, because I won't say that you guys are not trying, but you're not trying hard enough. You're going to a certain level of communication, and then you say, well, and this is what you're used to too, when it comes to disagreements about, the family, where the family is going. But you got to do your best, again, to find the common ground. You got to be able to find the common ground. Communication is key. It's key to unlocking the wonderful things that you haven't done yet with your family. Why do I say that? Communication is everything. And if you're communicating in a negative way, if you're communicating with your spouse, that other parent, in the wrong way, you're never going to be on the same level, right? It's going to be very hard for you guys to agree on small things. If you know what I'm saying? If you can't, or big things, excuse me. And if you can't agree on the small things of what I'm saying, how can you agree on the bigger things? So you got to be able to build that or rebuild. I'm just going to let that sink in for a moment because it is very important. I can go on and on and on. You got to have better communication, parents. Whether you're in the home with that father or mother, or they're in another home, you got to be able to build that. And I'm gonna tell you this: you got to keep people at your business. Sometimes you got to keep friends out of your business. You got to be able to build that with each other. Like whatever it takes, you got to be able to build that communication with each other. Because honestly, it's your family. Even if they don't live, that's still a part of your family. So I believe this is a great place to end. This is a great place to end because I want you to take in what I'm saying. I don't want you to feel like I'm beating you over the head with this information today. But parents, you have to work on one accord. You have to work together. Because when you work together, not only are you making better decisions with each other, right? Your relationship gets better. Your relationship grows. Your communicational ways, they grow. And you find more understanding for one another. So in my closing, you might be having some struggles with your communication, and that's okay because we all do. We all have some kind of strain of our communication that we have to work on. Nobody's exempt. I don't care where you come from, what your background is. Everybody has some kind of strain that they have to improve on their communication, especially when you're in the home and you're a parent and there's another parent involved. You have to be able to work on that. So I want to help you. I want to coach your family to work on this communication. And you feel like you need this. Don't hesitate. Don't keep hesitating. All you got to do is just make a step in the right direction because it's not just for you. It is for your family. So I want you, if you're interested in my program, which is called the Family Reconnection Program, I am your family restoration specialist, and I'm here to help you rebuild your family dynamic. Go and click on my link in my bio and sign up for your free 30-minute consultation call. But I thank you all for your time today. Wonderful, wonderful day. And I want you to be encouraged because your family is your rock. And however your family looks, that is your rock. And I want you all to have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.